Hey guys, it's Kris, and welcome to the Toned and Toneful podcast, episode number 6. Today we're going to be talking about isometrics and a little more detail on them because I noticed when I watched episode number 4, while it showed a lot of really cool stretches and some neat things about isometrics, there's always so many more details as, I want to go over with you guys as I learn more and also things that I already knew. So while I went over isometrics in a very light level in the first video, this second one just provides a little more detail. So this isn't going to be the longest video. So I figured I would give you guys kind of some fun updates in the beginning. Right now I'm drinking a decaf organic instant coffee. If it's up to me, I try to get coffee to be as organic as possible, something I take in a lot of. So if you're going to be taking in a lot of a product, maybe taking in the organic one is a good idea if you find out what's in some of those pesticides. So, just a thing to think about. So I've been enjoying this, and I got a little bit of monk fruit extract in there. I'll drop a little picture of it so you guys can see what it looks like if you want to get it at the store. It's like a 0-calorie kind of thing there, and it's really fun, and I like it, and it tastes similar enough to sugar if you use it in small amounts. You can kind of get away with maybe disrupting some of your insulin responses. Well, anyway, so today I just wanted to spend some time first. If you guys follow me on Instagram at the Tiger Loves Jazz, if you do, you might have seen that I put a story this week, and if you don't follow me, you're more than welcome to follow because I love to interact with you guys. So come over there. There's music stuff. There's more of the toned and toneful. There's all sorts of things over there. So the Tiger Loves Jazz, and I'm going to have a little share down there, and I'll put a link in the bottom description. So anyway, I put a story up because I started wanting to, first off with communication. One of the things, I'm talking about communicating myself, communicating my life, all these things. But one of the main things that we need to communicate is we need to communicate with our friends and what our friends are doing, I think, and really be happy for them. Let them have that moment and enjoy it with them. Not be so caught up in our lives that we're like, oh, they put out a song and I didn't get the chance to and listen to it, or I didn't get the chance to enjoy it. But try to enjoy the moment with your friends and those who you enjoy their music and the products that they make. So just a little forethought from me. So first off, I wanted to say, Sean Ashe, you rocked, dude. I really enjoyed Tangerine Dream. There's so many reasons I enjoyed it. The video's great, but the song is great itself. You listen to the song and you're teleported. And then you look at everything you did for it. I just think it all matched up really well. So I just wanted to say kudos on that. Sean is one of my guys. I've played with Sean. Sean is an incredible player. And I just want to say that as he grows as a man and as he grows as a storyteller, his music grows. He's also doing a podcast, and it's coming out today, actually. Today's Monday. What is it? August 15th. And so that's going to be coming out today. And he's with the Gear Gods, and I believe it's going to be how the songs are made. So that's a really, really cool one. I'm looking forward to that. If I got any of that wrong, please let me know. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about another friend of mine who's very, very close, and his name is Kris Yates, and he's doing something called the Don't Fret podcast, and I think it's really cool because I've always been a guitar nerd, and there's a lot of times in this show I've talked to you guys about, I was so lucky to be, a guitar nerd and be able to, spend time around people who nerded out on specs and stuff like that. So, I was fortunate enough to know Kris for a really long time. I've known Kris since, 2013, I think. 2013. And I met Kris because I was selling a pickup out of one of my Mayonnaise guitars. It was a Regia 7-string. It was a denim blue top one. And I was selling I believe it was it was an Air Norton neck pickup 7-string, and I was selling it, and Kris had got me to get him down to a certain deal, and he met me at my current job at the time, which was at Pete's. And so I was making him a coffee, and we were talking, and we realized we had so many similar interests. And again, this is where communication is key. You got to meet people and learn kind of what's going on. And Kris had told me about all the places he had worked and all the music work he had done, and I was so excited to meet someone of his caliber and to meet someone of his like he had so much he wanted to do. So Kris and I have been through many adventures over the years. When he did Axe Hacks, I was very fortunate to do videos in the beginning. And Axe Hacks eventually, what turned it in from, I feel like what I saw from Kris is what turned from like an interest in modding guitars that were really cool guitars that he liked, went into designing some of his own. And so I want to grab mine right here. You guys have seen me with my blue Mobius Cetra. This is a gorgeous instrument. This one is a Cetra that's a semi-hollow body. And what I really like about this guitar is the front and the back are not only nice woods, but everything is made to be the highest quality that it can be. And if you look at this guitar and you look at everything on it, the quality of the mahogany, the quality of the trem with a brass block in the back that was made to be thinner. The cutaways are in this are really, really interesting. And next week, I'm going to be going over this guitar in very deep detail. It's something that deserves it, and it's something that hasn't got it yet from me. I just didn't have a platform, and I wasn't communicating well enough last year to get this out, but I've had this guitar since April 6th last year, 2021. Very cool guitar. I constantly think about what it is to own this instrument, and I will be very happy to go over the specs with you guys next week and go over this instrument. So that's what this looks like, and it's a very, 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 very gorgeous one. Back of the headstock, lumen lace, everything like that. Yeah, guys, so this was a cool instrument, and I just wanted to take it out and show you guys. And I definitely have been working a lot on my music and working a lot on stuff with Ben, my friend Ben McSherry, who goes under the Real King Benji on Instagram, Real King Benji. I'll make sure to link these people in the story and in my Instagram post of this, so then that way that they're in it, because we're talking about them. And he's a really, really, really amazing all-around human being. But I think the thing that levels it up is Ben's when you're working on music, he has a really realistic view. And I think at times, the perfectionist who lives in me can sometimes be worked very well with having the right kind of person to work with to kind of push you out of that sometimes. So having a person who believes in the product that you're making and believes in the music that you do, and then at the same time gives you the space to articulate what you want and gives you the space to articulate kind of the sounds that you're going for, but at the same time push you forward with, if you're stuck on one part, he's going to try to realistically push you past it. And I think that that's a really great thing. So anyway, guys, right before I finish, I just wanted to answer a question. I've been getting some friends have been asking, why are you drinking decaf coffee so much? And what's up with that? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Last week I had the regular, and I got a little confident, and I had a couple of regulars throughout the week. It did not result in the best situation. I noticed that when my stress kicked up, when something naturally happened that I needed to be calmer, it took a lot more time and a lot more attunement to get that to work out. So I would say that in my future of drinking coffee, I would use it as a tool to stay awake and as a tool to help me when I lost my edge. But if you have your edge during the day and you're feeling you're good and you've got a lot of focus on your mind and you've got a lot of things that are going to keep you going, I would highly recommend against drinking a bunch of caffeine and being all burned out when you don't need to be burned out, because that can make it really, really, really tough. I just wanted to say to you guys, thank you so much. Please enjoy this workout with me, these isometrics. I've been slowly getting back into working out myself, and I'm going to, finally get back into my real bodybuilding stuff. So, next week I'm going to be talking about my guitar choices. So I'm going to be talking about my Mobius here, and I'm going to be talking about my Tom Anderson Guardian Angel. His nickname is Pegasus, and this guy is Babe the Blue Ox. So they're kind of named after, I can tell a quick story about that next week. But, yeah, I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate spending time with you guys every week. And the comments on the very sheer fact that this has served anybody as help is the main thing that I'm aiming for. So yeah, please subscribe, guys. If you have friends who you think would enjoy this, please tell them to subscribe. I'm going to mention it at the end. I'm not trying to be annoying. I just want to get this message out there. I'm trying to be better about getting past just doing things and then just not responding or just not getting it off the ground. So if you guys know anything that you think could help me get this off the ground even better, please send me a DM. I'm very interested to get this to the next level. I want to make this better than it is. I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to doing these isometric workouts and hints with you guys. Also on today's episode, I just wanted you all to know that I brought, for part of our stretches, a very familiar friend. You guys might or might not have one of these, but if you do, this is going to be fun. If you don't, I recommend you get one, even if you're a skilled guitar player. I'll show you why. All right, guys, here we are. We got the Dario Very Grip. I went to a Guitar Center just yesterday and bought this guy. I like it a lot. It's got the digits of the fingers numbered 1 through 4, 1 being the index, 4 being your pinky. And I was able to, I saw this guy on the wall, and I was able to snag it with a little fiddle toy it comes with for about $17.99, so very much worth it. As you can see on the bottom part of the cranks, there's an adjustable finger strength. You can adjust the spring. So this allows you to change the tension that you want per finger. This could be really good depending on what you're trying to strengthen. So right now I got them all in the lightest setting possible. This is again to show you guys how to use it. On the back here, they got this new thing, which is like something that feels like a string. So I guess you can rub your fingers on it and get calluses. I don't know if this is the best idea, but I guess if you don't play at all, it helps if you want to rub your finger on this, I guess. Here we go. So we're going to be going into the first workout now. And this is one of the main ones that you see everybody do. This is where you're going to take the pad of your finger and we're going to push down with each one individually. Now the thing that I want to stress is you want to keep your hand in a position where you're keeping your finger under a amount of tension. Now you see I don't raise my finger all the way to the end of the motion because that means I would be relieving all the tension. So my goal is I'm doing 3 on each one, and my goal is to keep all my fingers in place while I individually use the muscles within the palm and the back of the finger to pull down. We want to be pushing on the pad of our finger, and as you can see my pinky is weak, but at the same time I'm making sure to stay inside the range of motion. I don't want to lose this range of motion. Now here I'm doing some alternate fingerings where you can try some things that maybe are a little more difficult when you get a little bit better. You can see I'm struggling on this because this is my right hand, not my left fretting hand. So I'm just doing this just to show you what it's like to learn and to do this. So yeah, try to keep all your fingers down, and remember, keep them in a range of motion. When we let them all loose, that means that we have no more tension. So if we're trying to build strength, we want to keep it under tension. All right, here we go. So in the back of the hand, this is going to be the fist squeeze. So this is one of the ones that they have on there, and it's a fist squeeze, and you're just squeezing your fist and with the tips of your finger in. So this is creating strength through the middle part of the palm and the part right under the first knuckle in the hand. So this is really important because if we can develop this part of our hand, we're going to have good strength in holding the neck and without having to do it from the thumb or just from the fingers. This allows us to disperse our strength better for longer and bigger chords. And this one right here, this is going to be our fingers dropping into a tip-oriented type individual finger squeeze. Now this one, it's easier to control the tension, but at the same time, this one's actually a little bit harder to do on each individual finger. So look at how my thumb is in the top part of the section, and when I go to the bottom part of the hand, I move it down here because I actually don't want to hurt my wrist. Honestly, my wrist could be a little bit straighter during this because remember, this is a commentary. I'm watching myself, and I'm struggling so hard on this part of my hand because, again, this isn't my fretting hand. You can see that underdevelopment of that finger strength, the shaking on the pinky. So if we're experiencing this, we might want to go back to the rubber band type technique I was doing in episode 4. So remember, the top fingers, they want to go with the top notch, and the bottom fingers, they go with the bottom notch. It allows us to do this easier, and we're pushing from the tip of the finger. Now, this one right here is the first thumb strengthening. You can do it to strengthen the thumb. I think strengthening the thumb is very important because if you want to get that Yngwie Malmsteen style, Yngwie Malmsteen, I don't know. You guys can get the You know how we say that, we can figure that out. But you want to get that Malmsteen style picking. You're going to need your thumb to be strong enough and endurant enough to go up and down and kind of help you facilitate an almost springboard motion in the alternate picking. So this is really, really, really important. So I highly recommend that you guys take this and use this as you will, but I like to do it across all the finger pads. And the last but not least, the finale one, I like to throw in a pinky strengthening exercise. To me, this just really ties it all together and makes it just worth it to have this tool all together, that thumb and pinky strengthening. Really, really developing your ability to play certain chords and have strength. All right, guys, we're going to be going to some isometrics. And right now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys kind of doing iso holds during a regular bicep curl. We can do this during any workout. The goal is we're dividing up the workout into multiple parts, and we can use it to be a tool of growth and be a tool of a form of, stabilizing the muscles. So as you can see here, I'm going through the motion, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling through it, but I'm pulling through it in a way where I can isolate just the peak where I wanted and pull past it and go under it. This way I can develop the peak in a very, 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 very dedicated sense of what I wanted. So this is one of the things that you want to do when you're developing your physique, as far as, isometrics to develop. You can use it for a pause, and these pauses bring more tension to the muscle, and that time under tension is what's giving us growth. Right there, a little boom. And so right here, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. We're going to be taking the bicep curl, right? But we're going to be reversing it. And this is going to be helping our forearms. And you can see I'm doing a couple things wrong here, and I want to show you. Look at my arms are doing okay, but you can see the angle here in the arm. See how it's not flat? It's kind of at this almost like 40 to 30 degree angle. That's good for the wrist. Now, my stomach is not controlled. When you want to be doing pulls and you want to be doing things like this, you want a controlled stomach. This is really, really important. So you're going to see me now really vacuum it in, and now I can kind of just really get these reps together correctly. It allows me to actually even focus the arm even more. The forearm right here, so that's that part we were just working at. It feels very warm now, and you can see even in that movement that there is a use for that muscle. This is our final isometric workout. So we're going to be doing a regular set of curls, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding isometrics again to increase the time under tension and to make it facilitate strength in certain places. So one, you can see me pulling my stomach and my core in now. And I am now holding this in a neutral stance, holding in here, 1, 2, 3, coming back up. That's a more powerful pull-up. If you have a heavier weight, you might pull it up a little quicker towards yourself. You might do 2-second iso holds. And if you have a lighter weight, you might go slower like this and really feel the tension of the muscle. Because remember, mind-muscle connection is just as important as our mind melody connection, our mind harmony connection, like where we can hear the notes moving. We need to be able to select a specific muscle when we're lifting. So now I'm just doing a regular set, and then I'm going to do an iso hold at the end to allow just a little more tension, a little more challenge to the muscle. And there we go. Here we go, guys. We're all done. Woo! All right, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the workout, because for me, that is one of my favorite things about life, is working ourselves out and working out even with our music. I might even ask the question, does isometrics even help me with music? Does that even help develop my skill at all? And my answer to that question personally is yes. I think that when we add music and we add fitness to it, I think we're adding endurance, and adding endurance means we're capable to play parts that we might not be able to play if we're not in our best physical state. When I practice every day, there's certain things I can play. When I practice every other day, there's certain things I can play. Certain things become muscle memory because you play them for years at the same quality and the same caliber every day, and no one can take them away from you. remember that that's always our strive, is to be able to represent ourselves in the best way possible. So we have to use our language. We have to use the pentatonic scale. We have to use the Dorian scale. Or Dorian mode. We have to use, the modes of, the harmonic minor or the melodic minor. We've got to do stuff. But it's something to know that language and to put it over the music. And if you have it at a time where you can use your intuition and you can use your dedicated skill to do it, I would rather you spend your time on guitar building melodic and harmonic ideas and using isometric and stretching time as a time to build your physical endurance. Remember when I talked about using chromatics as a way to build your guitar skill? That might be good, but wouldn't it be better to practice isometric movements like that on your Deodario hand trainer? And then when you actually get on the instrument, you're not sitting there to build strength, you're there to build melodies and build harmonies. So your habit when you're holding an instrument is to build music. Anyway, guys, give me your thoughts on that. And remember, if this helped you in any way or you liked it, please subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. There is nothing more that I could be thankful for than to work with people that inspire the heck out of me. And then on top of that, to talk to you guys and be inspired again by just having great conversations about ideas that have just been in my life and that I'm starting to find out are very much a part of your guys' lives. So I look forward next week to hanging out with you guys and showing you my guitars. Until then, have a great week and have a great day. Toned and Toneful.